Hey guys, I'm here. I just finished watching Turning Red. This is Domee Shi's feature-length directorial debut after her successful award-winning animated short film Bao in 2018, which I definitely recommend you check out if you have not. It's on Disney Plus right now. You can check it out, give it a go. It's a really cute, really beautiful little animated short. I definitely recommend it. But talking about this film, it's a very Pixar film in the way that I think it handles a lot of themes and topics that I feel like Disney proper is usually too afraid to pick a stance on or really go head first into. There's a lot of overlap in some of the themes between this film and Encanto, two films from the Mouse House that have released within one year of each other, which is interesting to see how they tackle similar themes but do it in a very different way, where I think it's two different studios, and Pixar, like I said, they don't really pull their punches on it. And I think that they take a more hard stance on some of these things as we talk about this film. The film itself is about a 13-year-old girl named Mei Lin who lives in a temple ran by her family, and her mother has these expectations of what her daughter should be like, what her daughter should do, how their family should be, how their family should be perceived, and how she kind of carries on the way that she was raised and how she imprints that onto her raising of her daughter, ignoring the fact that her daughter is her own person and going through some changes as she's now 13. And this movie is primarily about two things: that generational parental trauma that carries on, that ignorance of acknowledging your kids for who they are and not who you want them to be, and puberty, which is a big part of this film, and it manifests itself in both a metaphorical way and a literal way in this film, as when somebody, a female member of this family comes of age, they inherit this ability, this gift, this curse, this blessing, depending on your perspective of it, to turn into a red panda when your emotions get a flare. And that can be any emotion: anger, excitement, infatuation, for lack of a better term, because obviously she's noticing different changes in her life. She's getting emotional. She's getting more, volatile in some ways, and she's becoming attracted to boys. As this is set in 2002, kind of around the peak of boy bandisms, there's like this boy band that she's really infatuated with that her mom's just kind of like, that's not music. And so it's one of those kind of things. So there's a lot of that going on. There's definitely some things that it tackles that I feel like is definitely going to make some parents uncomfortable to watch it with their kid, but I do think it's something that needs to be addressed, because I'm always been one of those people that just I think it's better to tackle those questions rather than to avoid them, because then they're going to learn it on their own anyway, whether you do it or not. And I feel like it's always better to come from you and not to make them feel bad about how they're feeling, not make them feel bad about what they like, what they're into. Be supportive. And it's about discovering that balance and about this kid learning to accept who she is, accept all sides of herself, and not try to hide or repress or run away from any of that. And I think it handles it really well. But like I said, given the subject matter at hand, for some kids, it's going to maybe provoke even an uncomfortable situation. And maybe for some parents, they're not ready. Their kids aren't ready for that kind of conversation just yet. And that's why I was like, Pixar handles these things and they don't really kind of skirt it most of the time. Where I feel like Disney would definitely, I think, drown it in a heavier metaphor or just kind of dodge a lot of these questions. Now, apparently there's some controversy surrounding this film, though watching it myself, couldn't really see anything that really stood out as such outside of the general horniness of this movie, for lack of a better term, because it is dealing with puberty. So there is some elements in this that are very natural for kids going through that age. I mean, let's be honest, uncomfortable as it is, maybe as a parent, maybe watching this with your kid, I'm sorry, but your kid's going to go through that when they're that age. I'd be lying if I didn't tell you at 13, I wasn't thinking about girls or other things. Then this movie, again, like I said before, doesn't shy away from some of these things, though it depicts them in a little more loose and funny kind of way, and a way that's not graphic or anything like that. There are some kind of metaphors for certain things that do come up in here, visual metaphors, but yeah, the film itself is kind of, for lack of a better word, kind of horny. Not gonna lie. But it's outside of that, I've heard some people have some like polarizing opinions about the mother, which I kind of understand. I can definitely see some people like being on the mother's side, but I don't think that her side is the one you're supposed to be on. I definitely was not on her side, though I understand why she is the way she is, because the movie does go into that. But it also, that's part of the problem. And then I've seen some headlines talking about how this film might not be accessible for some people because it's so apparently steeped in the culture. And while it is, there's a lot of elements that are here that they definitely dive into and make this integrated into this family's home. But I never felt like that alienated me from understanding the themes or relating to the themes, because I don't think it's exclusive to any one culture. I could definitely understand you maybe not growing up with, around, or as somebody that had a home like this, but for me, I didn't have a home like this, but I definitely knew and had friends who had parents who were this overbearing, and they were two different people when they were at home and versus when they were with me or our other friends, you know, because it's so there's a lot of things like that that I definitely relate to. Obviously, the puberty theme, highly relate to. Growing up in 2002 with the boy band craze, relate to that. So I don't know if I can jump on board with any of those thoughts, but I enjoyed the film. I thought it was cute. I thought it was charming. I thought it was a lot of fun, thrilling even. I shed quite a few tears throughout this thing. Definitely got misty-eyed throughout it. It was beautifully animated because it's Pixar. What can you expect? I mean, that's kind of the bar minimum for Pixar, is the animation's going to be good. I like the art style. I like the characters. I thought they were all charming. The friend group was endearing as all heck. There's a lot of tropes that they could have went into with that, with this group of characters that they definitely just avoided. It's unabashedly Canadian. Maybe that's part of it too, because I saw one headline who was like, "I'm not from Canada. I don't get some of this stuff." And I can't really like harp on that too much, because I was married to a Canadian for a while, so I caught most of that myself. So maybe some people got hit with that in a different kind of way, but I don't know. I really liked the film. I thought it was really fun, really cute, and charming. So, guys, I don't really have anything else to say that's not going to be spoilers for this film. So, sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Feel free to join our conversation in the Discord. We can talk about it there as well. Links to that on the socials down below as well. Hope you follow me in each and every one of those. Before we go, I want to shout out our channel legends, Manny Sherritt, Ryan, Karen, Philly Vane, Yori, Corey Scott, Margaret Grace, Mary Bradley, Nate Proundy, and Melita. Thank you guys so much for your support as always, as well as everybody else who's been supporting the Patreon and the YouTube memberships, and just everybody who's been keeping this channel going, participating in the comments, liking the videos, and just, you know, being the supportive guys that you are. Thank you all so much. I love you guys, and that's it for this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody.